driving around Lake Okeechobee, there's not many good places to see it unless you're in a boat from the west side of the lake. This is about as close as you get on this side. Behind that wall and that berm right there is the lake, but there's really no place to park and pull over and go up there. A lot of the good viewpoints are on the east side of the lake, which we're going to be coming around to in a little bit here. But it is just extremely massive. This is the biggest lake in Florida. All right, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a very long time since I've done a video. So here's how I'm going to start doing things. I'm going to get back to making videos. I've traveled far more than I care to admit the past year or two without making videos. I've definitely been traveling, but I don't know. I took a break from the channel, I guess, is the only way I could describe it. But I want to get back into the swing of things. Back with the video today. But the number one feedback I get from people who watch these videos is that I spend too much time talking and not enough time showing the event or the place that I'm at. So I'm going to work on that. This will be the longest clip of me talking, I promise. But I'm going to give you about a 15-second life update real quick, and then I'll get right into today's video. So I've been married for 3-4 years now, but you probably know that if you watched the past couple videos. I live in Port Charlotte, Florida, own a house. I'm still working as a truck driver for a concrete company, doing really well with that. I like it a lot. And I just had a son a couple months ago. My son Dylan is about 2 months old, which is pretty cool. Yeah, just life is good. I can't complain. I got some cool trips coming up, so I'll definitely be making videos for those. But for today, I'm doing something I've been wanting to do for a long time, which is drive around Lake Okeechobee and check it out, which is the largest lake in the state of Florida. It's in south central Florida, situated right between West Palm Beach and on the other side, Port Charlotte, Fort Myers area. It's just smack in the middle of South Florida, away from the coast on either side. Still got my pickup truck, my 1996 F-150 that's been in quite a few videos at this point. Really love this truck. So here's the park. There's bathrooms over there. This is the main road that leads to South Bay, which is the bottom of the lake. And this is the berm that just goes for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles along the southern and western side of the lake. There's a little path to the top we're going to take. So I was actually totally wrong. Here's where we parked over here. Climbed up top. It's just the canal that leads to the lake. The actual lake itself, you can kind of see it way off in the distance, way out there. Closer, but still not what we want. This is a few minutes up the road. I'm in South Bay, and I saw a sign for another park off the main road, so I pulled in, and there's like no parking lot, nowhere to go, just signs that said park. And then there's a little tiny road that you actually have to drive up and over the levee and around and down the other side, and there's parking and there's a public boat ramp right here. But it was kind of cool to drive like up and down, so I'm going to keep the camera rolling and I'm going to show you guys what it's like when we drive out of here. I mean, it is steep. Look at this, parking is on a pretty steep grade. I mean, we're close to the lake. There wouldn't be a boat ramp if we weren't close. People fishing over there. But watch how we get out of here. More parking over there. Just being from Florida, where everything is so flat, it's odd to go anywhere that has anything steep or anything that resembles a hill. So this is how you get out of here. Now we're at the top of the levee. Can barely even see anything going down this road. It's so steep. By cresting that hill, I couldn't even see the guardrail, so I had to go slow. Up and down the other side. That was pretty entertaining. At least for me, being here in person. I was not expecting that. I thought it was just gonna be a park with like some parking and walk over, but no, you actually drive up and down. This is the center of South Bay. There's not much here. There's a Dollar General, a couple gas stations, an auto repair place, and not a whole lot else. This is the very bottom of the lake. This is the town right at the very southern end. Just went through Belglade, Florida, which is a bigger town. It has fast food restaurants, auto parts stores, Walgreens, dollar stores, things like that. And the way the road curves, this is still as close as you can drive to the lake. We're making our way up the eastern side of the lake now. You can't even drive that close to it. The lake is over here off to the left. And we're making our way further along, but there's just really no good viewpoints for a lot of this lake, which is strange being how big and notable it is, being the biggest lake in Florida. Just past Belglade, Pahokee, Florida is up here, which I'll talk about in a minute. But just past another one of these parks, this is like the fourth or fifth one of these. They all look almost identical. Boat ramp up here, same setup, but this one has parking that's not up top there. I'm gonna walk up there and see if we can actually see the lake from this one. Well, not quite. We're getting closer. So this is another one of the many, many canals that leads out to the lake. It's bigger, it's wider, and the lake is right out there. So I have a feeling at the next viewpoint we're going to be able to see it. It's amazing. I've driven around almost half the lake so far, and there's no good place to actually look at the lake itself. So don't get me wrong, I don't mean to sound like I'm complaining. It's just unbelievable that I've driven around half the lake almost, and I still haven't even seen it, stopping at every park along the way. But I am having a fantastic day. It's Saturday. It's the weekend. I really am enjoying this nice weather driving around. The next town we're coming through is Pahokee, Florida. Which if you do a quick YouTube search for Pahokee, Florida, you'll see things like most impoverished town in Florida, rural poverty and crime, and all kinds of things like that. I've been through it before a few years ago, and I didn't think it was all that bad, but we're going to go check it out and find out if it's just all YouTube internet hype or if there's really something to it. But that's the next town, and I'm pretty dang sure we're going to see the lake pretty soon. I believe Pahokee is also the first town where you can actually see it. All right, so here we are, Pahokee, Florida. Here's the park. We can finally see the lake. It's a windy day. I still got the mullet going. Been about 4 years now. Oh, that's not really something you want to see. Finally get to see it. And this lake is so big, it's like 25, 30 miles to go all the way across, something around there. You can't even see it. It looks like an ocean standing here. You can't even see land on the other side. There's a marina right here. I don't think it's public because there's locked gates to get to it, but there's some sort of marina, and then there's a public dock right here. People fishing, people hanging out. Just got done making my video about Pahokee, Florida, a place that gets talked about a lot on YouTube. You can go check that out if you want to. But continuing on with our drive around Lake Okeechobee, this is called Canal Point. It's a very small town, a little bit north of Pahokee. And then there's really no other towns until we get to Okeechobee. Okeechobee is about 20 miles that way, and that's the biggest town on the lake. It has, you know, a Walmart, it has fast food restaurants and gas stations and hardware stores, and it has all the stuff that you would need. So that's gonna be where we end up eventually. I'll probably get something to eat in Okeechobee. But for right now, we're just continuing up. We're finally on the side of the lake where you can actually get a pretty good view of the lake itself. Because as I was explaining earlier, the other side of the lake, there's really no good viewpoints. But look at this. This is a very run-down, poor condition boat ramp. But it's still open. It's free. There's plenty of parking over here if you have a trailer with you. I mean, the ramp itself is not in bad condition. The concrete's okay. But there's a lot of debris and big stones on it. So here's the lake. It's windier than it was earlier. Like earlier today, there was almost no wind. Now it's starting to pick up. The water's still not that rough, but you would still need a pretty decent boat to go because it's like 25-ish miles straight across, and it is fairly windy, so you wouldn't want to do that in a little John boat. I'm not sure if you can see it in the video, but up here, there's a bridge that you may or may not be able to see. That's the road that we're traveling on up to Okeechobee. The road goes over that bridge, and it has a canal underneath it, and you can actually go by boat from the Gulf Coast of Florida all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. Starts in Fort Myers and goes all the way across and ends in Stuart, Florida, and pops out in the Atlantic Ocean. And part of that route goes right through Okeechobee. And it's just canals. I've always wanted to do it. I haven't done it yet, but I've always wanted to take a boat clear across the state of Florida through all these little canals that people don't even know exist. Continuing on towards the city of Okeechobee, making our way along the eastern shore of the lake. This is the spot I remember from when I was out here about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years, something like that. The road goes over this bridge, and there is a canal under here. The lake is over this way, and then the canal goes under this bridge where you can actually take a boat from Fort Myers all the way to Stuart, Florida, from the Gulf Coast to the Atlantic Ocean. I'm going to get out on foot and show you guys where it goes through. I think there's a lock they have to go through over here as well. It's actually really interesting stuff. If you pull that up on YouTube, you can watch people taking a boat all the way across Florida through the middle of the state. I've already been here a few minutes, just having a relaxing Saturday. Parked over here. Here's the road. Here's the lock, and I should have videoed it, but I didn't for some reason. I just saw a boat go through. It's probably like a 26 or 27 foot center console. Just went through, going out towards Stuart, headed towards the Atlantic Ocean, which is that way. This exact spot was in my video like 4 years ago, but it was a rainy, cloudy day. So I'm going to go over there and get one more look at the lake before we head up to Okeechobee and round out the day. But before I do that, I'm going to go down here. It looks like there's some boats docked over here. I don't remember that from last time I was here. I do remember all the construction materials. It looks like you can go down here because it's water management district land, which usually, don't quote me, but usually in Florida is okay to be on. It's public property. It looks like just no vehicles. I mean, these are nice, expensive, large boats. I don't know who they belong to. I don't know why they're here. They were definitely not here last time I was out this way. And I don't even really know how you'd get to them. They're kind of just moored out there. There's no dock. There's another one over here. There's one behind these materials here that you can't really see. I'll get you guys a view of it. Definitely interesting. I'd be curious if anybody knows who owns these boats or why they're here. Leave a comment. So as far as the entire lake for spots to just hang out and relax, this is probably the best one. So over here is the lock where the boats can go through to get to the canal out to the Atlantic Ocean. The camera's not doing it justice. I can't describe just how big it is. You can't see land on the other side at all. It feels like I'm sitting on the edge of the ocean. It is a windy day. There's actually people flying a kite over here. I'm gonna be honest about this water. It's got that brownish, dirty look to it. It's not the clearest, bluest water. I'm not saying it's dirty, I'm just saying it kind of looks that way. Here's a close-up view of where the boats come through the lock. Somebody launching an airboat right there. This is Okeechobee, which is the biggest city on the lake. When I say city, I use the term loosely. There's no skyscrapers or anything. But there's food and Walmart and Home Depot and all that kind of stuff here. So this is probably the last stop to see the lake today. But once I get done here, I'll probably just grab something to eat and end the video. But this is the first park along the lake that hasn't looked the same. The paved road came in this way, and now there's a dirt road over here, like back this way. Probably a half a mile behind me, there's a boat ramp. People just parked in cars, hanging out, relaxing, which is what I've been doing for the last few minutes. And probably, this is one of the nicer parks we've seen along the lake. I really liked that last one with the canal and the locks for boats, and I like this one too. But I have never really been to the city of Okeechobee. I've just driven through. I haven't spent any time here, so I am gonna go check it out. Alright guys, so I'm gonna close out the video here. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. What ended up happening, I know it ended kind of abruptly. There was a couple of horse races that I really wanted to watch today, and they were like, I kind of lost track of time. So I'm like, oh, I gotta watch the race right now. It was the Louisiana Derby. I love horse racing, for those of you that don't know. Like, it's one of my favorite things. I'm actually taking a trip to Kentucky to watch the Lexington Stakes in a couple weeks. I'm going to the Florida Derby next weekend. I haven't decided if I'll do a video from that yet. I'll probably go to the Kentucky Derby next year. It's just really expensive. I wanted to go this year, but enough about all that. I'm going to end the video here. Thank you for watching the trip around Lake Okeechobee. I had to grab a couple things from the Okeechobee Home Depot. I ate dinner at KFC right across the street from here. And hope you enjoyed the video.